So you want to be a content creator. You want to make content on the internet, travel the world, do a lot of cool things, pick up a camera. Hey, look, mom and dad, I am a vlogger now. I'm going to start making money on the internet. I'm going to make videos for people like Mr. Beast and Logan Paul. Well, I too was once in your shoes. I'm going to show you exactly how you be a content creator in this day and age and tell you all the secrets and tricks of how you actually get into the field of content creation. What is it exactly that you want to be and become, even if you don't have a lot of experience? Stay tuned for this video. So the whole content game of where it's been and where it's at now, it's completely changed. And to give you a little bit of context of who I am, don't know who I am yet, my name is Peter, and for the past 5 years I have been a content creator. I've made content for myself, but more importantly, I have the receipts of making content for businesses, for influencers, and organizations on a global scale. So I've made content for people who have 0 subscribers and helping them start their YouTube channel, as well as be on a team and work with bigger channels like 500,000 plus subscribers and making their video content, coming up with their strategy and seeing overall the trends of what's going on in YouTube. And I was just like you in your shoes back in the day in 2008 and 5, whatever the day is that when YouTube came out, I started watching videos. I'm like, hey, how about I try to pick up a camera, right? Talk to it and do this for a living or even as a full-time thing. And back then, yes, you could have gotten away with being yourself a content creator with no experience, picking up your camera, talking into it, and who knows, next thing you know, you're on an island, private island, going on an airplane and chasing lions and tigers. But those days are a little bit far from actual reality. And nowadays, if you actually want to get into content creation, it's a whole nother monster where everyone and their mamas, there's mamas, can essentially pick up their camera, pick up their phone, and upload anything on YouTube. Now the barrier to entry to be a content creator is so low. Anyone can just upload a video and they're like, hey, I'm a content creator. I make videos on the internet. And it's like, I don't want to be, or you don't want to be that 40, if you are 40, don't get offended, but you're 30, 40 years old and you're like, hey man, I'm a content creator, I make YouTube videos, but I don't exactly know what I'm doing with this whole content game. Well, if you want to take content seriously now, going into 2021, 22, 23, I'm going to tell you from a content strategist point of view where I've been making content for my own channel. I have 2 channels now with over 10,000 subscribers each. This channel on the road, on the journey to 20,000, thank you to you guys. And break down what exactly is a content creator in this day and age, and what exactly do you need to know, how do you actually become one, and what is it that content creation appeals to this day and age. So let's get into point 1. So when it comes to part 1 of what exactly how you get into content creation, you yourself have to figure out, do you have the personality of what it takes to be a content creator? Because like I said, just because you have a ring light and you have a fancy camera and you start talking to it, doesn't mean people are going to start flocking to you. Nowadays, no one even cares anymore. And you have to figure out, do you yourself want to be in front of the camera, or do you yourself want to be making content for other people? And what exactly does that entail? So you yourself you're being in front of the camera as well as behind the camera. And if you want to be a content creator for other people, what does that entail? Like I said, if you want to be a photographer, you want to be a videographer, what exactly that you want to be, you have to know yourself. So if you know that you don't have much of a personality like myself and you stutter, you have speech impediments, and you're much better off behind, or maybe I'm trying to transition into my new Starlight role of being the next Mr. Beast. Probably not, but I'm talking about knowing yourself. Knowing that what exactly do you want to do. If you want to be more so creating content for other people, then you want to narrow down into part 2 of knowing yourself. So now that you know it down, let's take this for example that you don't want to be in front of the camera, but you want to be a content creator for other people. So next you want to go down is to what type of content you want to make. So nowadays there's so many platforms on the internet now. There's TikTok, there is Instagram, there's Facebook, there's YouTube. And you have to figure out what exactly that you want to make content for. And just like anything, you want to master down 2 to 3 specific platforms. Because the reality is, not everyone is a master at TikTok is going to be a master on YouTube. Just because everyone's a master at Twitch and live streaming does not mean they're going to be a master at Instagram. So what you want to do is pick 1 to 2 platforms that you want to triple and quadruple down on, that you have your skills and your skill set and you know what you bring to the table. Once you figure out the platform that you want, then we can go down into the next part, which is figuring out what skills that you actually need to create content. Content itself is anything that you watch. It can be in written, audio, and visual. So if you want to be, let's say, make it easy, is an Instagram content creator. So a lot of influencers, businesses need content for their feed. So this means you'll need photos, right? You need maybe a couple captions, even like a simple screenshot of a tweet and put that on Instagram. That is content. You don't necessarily need things like video making skills, although it does come in handy. So if you want to be on Instagram and be a content creator, I would say I highly suggest you know things like how to use a camera, how to take photos, understanding composition and framing, understanding a little bit of Photoshop, more importantly, Lightroom, understanding Instagram growth, as well as a little bit of digital marketing and how you can grow. So when you, as a content creator, yes, you can make photos and create photos, but another add-on to that is how can you grow your Instagram, focusing on one platform, growing your own or other people's brand. But let's take it to another whole level. You don't want to get into photos. You mostly want to do videos. So the platform for you is probably anywhere from all 3 of them, from TikTok to YouTube to Facebook. And once you narrow down exactly on what platform you want to make, then you're like, okay, I want to make videos. So you definitely need to know things like Adobe Premiere or Final Cut, and once you master that, and also knowing how to use a camera, that will be your assets in terms of learning how to piece together edits, learning how to make micro content, learning how to overall script a complete video and know the difference between a YouTube video and what's the difference between an Instagram story video and what's the difference between a TikTok video. There's so much content now, it is overwhelming. So you narrow down, like I said, what type of content you want to make. Do you want to make it for yourself? Do you want to make it for other people? Narrow down the platform. And once you narrow down the platform, then you can figure out, okay, who are the type of influencers that I would want to make content for? And then that will lead me into the next part. So I would assume you have 0, right? 0, goose egg, nothing, and all you have is a camera, and you want to figure out what exactly that you want to do with content, and you want to work and be a content creator for like a Jake Paul. You want to be a Mr. Beast, the video editor of Mr. Beast. So what you need to do is you need to put in the reps. So what you need to do is build your own personal brand, your personal page. So it's essentially you're collecting receipts of be like, hey, I'm a content creator. Cool story, bro. Show me what you got. Show me your moves. For me, for example, is like, hey, I can show you my resume. I've worked with XYZ influencer. Look at my YouTube channel. You want to flex on them. You want to be like, hey, I have the proof. Because with influencers and people that they want to work with, they want to show that you can replicate whatever results that you've made for yourself and your other clients and people for them as well. So if you don't have any experience in getting your foot in the door, I highly suggest, if you want to be a content creator for other people, have your own personal brand and know that your first piece of content you're going to make is going to suck. But hopefully within over its time span of 4 to 5 years, they suck less. So when it comes to making actually content, I'm not going to talk about making it full-time and doing it, so it is very competitive and there's no one trick road to getting, let's say, a full-time gig at a content job or influencer or business. There's so many different ways, but the way that I know has worked for me, but it might not work for you, which is why link in the description below is actually have a blueprint of how I show you guys how I made my first $1,000 as a video content creator. I literally have my templates, how I talk to influencers, how I got my first video editing gig and job, as well as how I made over $1,000 plus within, let's say, a month of just actually having no experience to being like, oh, I'm actually pretty experienced now. So link in the description. That course is everything that I wish I knew. 5 years combined, condensed all the way down to one course, so you can be a step ahead of the game when it comes to content creation. So when it comes to creating content now, it is more competitive, but more people need content more than ever. You have businesses, especially everything's going online now. People need a feed post. Influencers need content. Influencers need video. So if you can figure out a way to constantly hone up your skills, know that, okay, I'm gonna need to brush up my After Effects, my Premiere, I need to know Lightroom, Photoshop, I need to know how to use a camera, I need to know audio, I need to know how to set up a shot, I need to know how to grow people's Instagrams. I need to know how to grow people's YouTube channels. I need to know content inside and out. So if you want to talk to me one-on-one, bro, about content, I can talk all day, all night. I live, breathe, eat, sleep content, seeing what's on the trend. And content is so important to someone's brand. And it's all about a content game, especially if you're watching now and you want to be a content creator. 100%, it works 99% of the time. Check out my resources of how I can actually help you become a content creator. And know that when you first start making content, your video is gonna suck. But it's all about putting in the reps and growing and seeing what you can do and narrowing down. Like, are you actually good? And be honest with yourself, man. Can you actually pick up a camera? And are you comfortable with just being like, what up, y'all? My name is Peter. I'm gonna go on this grocery shopping trip, but do any of y'all actually care and want to see me go on a grocery shopping trip? Why are you even watching my video, right? And it gets so complicated like that of figuring out what's the right content strategy. How do I make content if I don't know what content I'm making? So link in the description below as well if you want to see me apply the Gary Vee content strategy model for you and how you understand content, because content is king. And nowadays everyone is trying to make content. Everyone thinks they're a content creator, right? People try to lowball content makers. And now with people, you have like Fiverr and you have all these websites that try to cut the overall value of content creation. I myself don't consider myself a videographer. My brain just froze for it. I consider myself a content creator, and I've been making content for myself and other people for the past 5 years now. And I've seen what works, I've seen what doesn't work, and there's a certain formula that you want to follow when it comes to creating content and making it successful. But that's a little enough of a rant. I wanted to go more freestyle on this and talk about, the very bare bones basics of content creation. So like I said, figure out what platform you want to make content for. Figure out, do you yourself want to make content? Is it for yourself, or do you want to be under someone's team? And figure out, how do you grow your personal brand and constantly hone in on your skills. And once you do all three and you narrow down on what exactly you want to do, you're already one step of the game. Now that you have no experience, you have a little bit more about knowledge, So my name is Peter, y'all. And if you want more videos like this, talking about content creation, a little behind the scenes of what it's like to work for bigger YouTube channels, or what's it like even running behind the scenes of my own YouTube channel, let me know in the comments. If you watch this far, make sure you grab all my freebies and goodies in the resources description, the link below. My name is Peter from Broke Visionary Collective. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We all start with nothing, but you're watching Broke Visionary Collective, and you can always create something and some content, man. Some good content.